None of us gave them a shot. None of us picked Texas A&M to go into Baum-Walker. Take 2 out of 3. That is exactly what the Aggies do as they stay red hot, win game 1, 7-4. Then, of course, had the doubleheader on Friday. Lost that first game of the doubleheader 11-5. They come back, win game 3, 9-2. A massive series win. Harrison and I will pull a quote from Sopranos when it comes to Texas A&M. I was out, and they pulled me back in. I was out, and they pulled me back in. Am I back in on the Aggies? I don't know, Harrison. I don't know. Last week I said I was dipping my pinky toe in.
Well,
I know a lot of Aggies. I know a lot of, and I stuck a fork in them a few weeks ago.
You did.
And there's a lot of Aggies that are going to tell me, Chris, stay on that side. Don't come on this side. They think I'll be the jinx if I come on that side. I was out. They pulled me back in, man. They pulled me back in. What is going on with Texas A&M, dude? Jace Lavallette's alive. Wyatt Hensler swinging a hot stick. The bullpen is stepping up and doing things they weren't doing. This team is playing as a complete unit now. I mean, damn, dude. Damn. It is crazy to think we are here now. And this A&M team, what they've done over the last 3 weeks, my, oh, my, how quickly things can change in college baseball. What a game.
This is, first off, fantastic quote. Love it. You crushed the quote, too. And
thank you.
Especially after cooking. And, I mean, you said A&M was cooked. Nevertheless.
I did.
They are not. They are not cooked, especially the way that they've been playing the baseball the past few weeks, Chris. I mean, they are now back-to-back road series wins over the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country. Obviously, the first time in program history for them. But to do that against Tennessee and then A&M, Arkansas, for A&M is just unbelievable because those are two just of the cream of the crop right now. And they're in the SEC, which makes it even harder. You're playing at just hostile environments. I think, Baum-Walker a little bit more hostile than Lindsey Nelson just by history and, capacity-wise. But, I mean, it was a thing that was like, is anyone going to pick them, or was that a fluke, or is like now they go into Fayetteville and do that, ride this high note? Can they do it again? And Chris, I mean, doubleheaders are super weird. We know that anything can happen. We saw it when they were in Tennessee playing in Knoxville at Lindsey Nelson. Just weird things can happen with doubleheaders. I think it was huge to see them split the doubleheader. Honestly, I mean, especially after losing game 1 the way they did. But just series as a whole, Chris. I mean, they've played 107 times now. A&M and Arkansas. The series, the series is closer than you think, Chris. A&M leads at 54-51 with 1 tie. I mean, it's as close of a series as you're probably going to get in any SEC head-to-head, I think. And, I mean, it was just it's so good for the SEC, Chris, and so good for college baseball. I think that A&M is doing this right now more so than, I think, the preseason expectations, the hype, the unanimous number 1 team in the country, and just the storylines that surrounded that. But it just shows that why college baseball is so great and the pedigree of the game, the parity of the game. It shows how we talk about anyone can beat anyone in the SEC on any weekend. Winning on the road in the SEC is insanely hard, but to be able to do that against a number 1 team and now number 2 team on the road, I mean, crazy, Chris. And just, I mean, we have to give them their props to A&M to do this yet again. I mean, it feels like no one but them is giving them a shot, Chris, even after beating Tennessee. They said it was a fluke. They said it was the doubleheader. They got combined no hit and shutout in game 1 and run ruled in game 1. And then they won a doubleheader at Tennessee the next day. It's like they are playing just a different brand of baseball. I mean, they took a curse off whoever's glove it was with a live chicken, whoever knows what it was. Bull Durham reference for those that don't know. I mean, they did whatever they needed to do. The mojo in the clubhouse, the way they're playing the game, Chris, I think they're still playing hard. They always were playing hard. It just felt like a lack of confidence and a lack of just like confusion. It felt like a lot of confusion, honestly. And just now they're playing, I don't want to say they're playing with house money, but it feels like they're playing so much more loose and free and just confident in supporting each other. I mean, that's just what college baseball is about, and kind of shows to how this team has never counted themselves out. Just the adversity that they've gone through this season as a whole, from the players in the locker room to the coaching staff, with Michael Early being his first head coaching job in the SEC, the #1 team, unanimous team in the country preseason, this uber talented roster. And Chris, they're doing this all without Gavin Grahovac, one of the best SEC freshmen in the country, who came back this year and just ends up getting hurt, which we hate to see because he was so talented, so much fun to watch. But he's still in the dugout. He's still a part of this team, and I think he's playing a big role as well. That's kind of a silent role, and supporting these guys and just mentoring a lot of the younger guys. But he ain't having a mentor, Jace Lavalette, Chris, because he is seeing the ball. He's seeing baseballs at the plate. I think he was SEC Player of the Week. He had an unbelievable weekend, just tearing the cover off the baseball, and a huge reason why with Kaden Serell, obviously, as well, being kind of the nucleus of this offense that's leading it, just kind of being, I think, some leadership in that locker room too. And it's great for the SEC. It sucks for teams that, they're beaten right now, because I don't think anyone, Chris, coming into the season would have expected them to. I think they're 500 against Alabama, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. Sure, throw South Carolina there, and then they go and take 2 or 3 at #1 Tennessee, and then 2 or 3 at #2 Arkansas. You would have said the opposite, maybe, or win one of them, and then be a little bit above 500 with the other teams I mentioned. But I think it's great for the game, Chris. I think it's great for college baseball. It's great for the SEC. It just continues to add to the depth that the SEC is, Chris, and how deep it is, how much of a gauntlet it is. And anyone can beat anyone, Chris. That's what's so good about this game. And you can't count out the Aggies, Chris. Not yet. They are not cooked.
They have life, no doubt. It is. They're kind of hard to figure out because, again, like you said, they lost Grahovic, but we know it's still a team that is, immensely talented. There's a reason they were picked, #1 in the preseason, essentially unanimously, and they were a lot of people's national title pick. And so you look at them, though, and it's really hard to forget what they did the first, month and a half plus of the season. But then now you look at the last 3 weekends and you're like, well, it kind of feels like they're back to being or at least they're much closer to what we expect them to be. I was going to ask you, Harrison, how big was the return of Kaden Serell? Because they've been different since he came back. It jumps off the page to you in the standpoint, like you said, I think one of the biggest reasons for the turnaround, Jace Lavallette's playing like a dude, bro. Your dudes have got to be dudes. When you have a guy like Jace Lavalette, at some point a guy like that just has to step up and be like, I'm going to put it on me. I'm going to live up to my #1 overall draft pick, hype and build up. But it seems like getting a Kaden Serell injected back in the lineup, dude, that's just made all the difference, man, because since he's come back, the offense has been totally different.
Yeah. Chris, I told you he's a big piece of this offense. I think he's a big piece of the clubhouse and what Texas A&M baseball is right now, and just kind of a great vibe, a great energy, just a veteran presence too, and just a little bit of mojo, a little bit of swag in this game, and just how he came back and just didn't miss a beat. It felt like he just came back ready to roll. And we said earlier, Chris, in the season, I said it feels like Space Jam when the Monstars took the NBA players' talents. It felt like anyone, the game of college baseball took A&M's talent, just all their elite, high level, #1 unanimous team in the country talent. Just the Monstars took them. It felt like that. But Chris, maybe it's been since when Kaden Serell came back, right before they played, something maybe happened on that team plane that they charter, Chris, from College Station to Knoxville. They got the nerds look basketball. They got the powers back. They got their abilities, and they have been rolling, Chris. It's been great to watch. I love using that analogy because I think it fits them perfectly. But Kaden Serell has just been a huge sense of life and a surgence in this lineup, and just, I think everyone's feeding off it around him as well.
And doesn't it just feel meant to be, Harrison, that Texas A&M would catch fire just in time for the series at Dish Falk this week? And again, on Thursday, we'll preview it, predict it, break it all down, but let's address the elephant in the room, if you will. Aggies, Longhorns in Austin. It's going to be pure.
And Jared Spencer's hurt.
And Jared Spencer is going to be.
And Max Blue's out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is confirmed at this point by Jim Schlossnagle that Jared Spencer will not pitch this weekend. So, again, we're going to talk about this one later in the week, break it all down. But
Chris, this feels like this feels like Ole Miss 2022.
I mean,
Could it?
They could.
Whoever,
it feels a little early.
Whoever has to host an A&M as a 3 seed in their regional.
You do not want to see A&M coming in your regional as a 2 or 3 seed. That is the last
team you want to see is A&M as a 3 seed in your regional. I don't care what team you are hosting a regional. If you're a top 8, top 16 national seed, obviously hosting a regional, Texas A&M right now is the last team you want to see in your regional, whether it's a 2, let alone a 3, because that means you also have a 2 that's probably really freaking good too. So, I mean, just keep that in your back pocket till we get to the postseason. But, I mean, we got a lot of work to do and a big weekend this upcoming weekend for the Aggies for sure.
Yeah, had to address it because, again, Harrison, rivalry week has begun in the state of Texas. You can just feel it. You can cut the tension with a knife on social media, certainly. It is going to be a really, really fun week as we look ahead to that one.